Going into the album, as compared to previous albums, which you weren't there obviously, but I've read that there was more preparatory work, more practicing, so it was more of a not so improvised on the album. Like, was there a lot of practice that you guys did before you went into the studio?
Yeah, well, all the songs were properly demoed before at Michael's house, and we rehearsed for about 5 weeks before we went to the studio, and I think we could have pulled off these songs live, really.
After those 5 weeks of practice?
So that was a good thing, because everybody knew their parts when we entered the studio. There weren't any real question marks at all, I think. Some stuff was came out in the end, like some solos, maybe some small details, but most of it, apart from the lyrics, Michael wrote most of the lyrics in one night in the studio. I was quite amazed by that.
Okay. How much new material are you playing on this tour? Have you played?
On this tour we only do one track.
Only do one track?
A track called Hair Apparent.
Hair Apparent.
Which is very fun to play.
It's pretty well received so far.
I think so. Absolutely.
Cool. And, move on a little bit to maybe some of your personal influences. Growing up, when did you start to play the guitar?
I actually played violin for a couple of years when I was a kid, but I was never really into it. I remember a friend of mine, we were standing in the corner playing Breaking the Law riff with Judas Priest. But I think I got my first guitar when I was about 12. But I started practice a lot when I was 14. I saw a clip of Michael Schenker playing on TV at this metal festival from Germany with a bunch of bands. And then I got a bit spellbound by his playing because he had such a great tone. And I was like, wow, can you do that with a guitar? And then later on, first albums I picked up was AC/DC and Kiss and that stuff. So Ace Frehley and Angus Young was like the first heroes. But the guys who made me practice more, also Yngwie Malmsteen, of course, when he released his first instrumental record, Rising Force record. That made a huge impact and was very great inspiration by that time.
Was that when you kind of wanted to move more towards the speed and the...
Yeah, pretty much. And also players like Blackmore, John Uleroth, Gary Moore, George Lynch, Marty Friedman, Jason Becker, those more shred era. I was quite into that Paul Gilbert stuff for a while.
So those were all guys that you kind of looked up to, I guess, when you were starting off.
Yeah, I also like more bluesy players like Frank Marino, and I didn't listen much to Robin Trower back in the day, but Mike has been playing a lot of Robin Trower stuff to me, and that's really cool too.
When you guys are out on tour, what kind of stuff, on that note of him playing a lot of Robin, what kind of stuff do you guys listen to stuff together as a band out, or does everyone have their own thing going?
We had some listenings last night. Michael played me some stuff with this guy called Vangelis, the Greek guy.
I think I've heard it.
It was really cool. And also, he's been playing me some Scott Walker stuff, The Drift, this record, which is quite obscure, which I know was a bit of an influence for Michael when he wrote this record.
Do you ever, I know as a guitar player myself, I'll look at something, like I'll hear a riff and think, man, I wish I had written that. Are there any riffs that you look at, that you hear, and anybody else's songs that you think, wow, that's a great riff, too bad I didn't come up with that? Do you ever have anything like that?
Yeah, well, it's hard to pick one up now. Iron Man.
Iron Man. Now, you've toured all over with Arch Enemy and also with Opeth. Where are your favorite places to play? Do you have any like particular cities that you enjoy more than any others?
Unfortunately, you don't get to see much of the cities when you tour. You mostly spend the day sleeping and then hopefully do a sound check and warming up, play some guitar, maybe eat some food. But I've been to Sydney a couple of times and we had an off days, so we got some time to explore the city. That was cool. So I enjoyed that, but also I like pretty much everywhere. Anyway. Not really, but it's cool to tour in America too. It's very different from city to city as well.
Now, comparing, like, for instance, an American crowd to a European crowd, is there a big difference between the way the shows are in the two different places?
Not that much, but I haven't toured in Europe yet with Arch Enemy. We did play in England 4 shows, and that was really good.
Alright.
Great crowd. And I think the crowd in America is really good too. These shows we're doing now, some of them are seated. And that's a bit different. You don't get the mosh pit and all that going.
Yeah.
When you have the seated audience, it's more laid back, more listen more than march around.
Yeah. Now,
so that's different. We did a few off dates when there were more like the regular people standing. That was more wild.
More wild.
Yeah.
Opeth is known to kind of have an almost like a rabid, I guess you would say, fan base. A lot of crazy Opeth fans. Have you seen much of that on this tour yet? Any just over the top Opeth fans, or?
Well, I think they're all been really nice actually.
Really nice.
We usually try to hang out after the gigs and say hi and stuff, but so far they've been really cool, I think. No freaks.
No freaks.
Really, at all.
So all around, pretty good tour, pretty good first year with the band. And,
absolutely.
What is the future? The album comes out June 3rd.
Yeah.
After that, what does the future hold for the band?
Still have 5 more dates on the Progressive Nation tour, and then we're going to do a couple of signing sessions in Amsterdam and Paris, and after that we're doing about 25 festivals in Europe this
Summer
summer.
festivals.
Yeah. And right after that we're going to Japan and Australia, and then we're coming back to America to do a headline tour in September, which is going to be a quite long one. I think it's about 43 shows or something.
I'll definitely have to make it out for that one too.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Playing longer set and playing more stuff from the new record.
How long is the set going to be tonight?
We play an hour on this tour.
Play an hour,
which is cool. Being a sort of opener.
Yeah, that's definitely a good opening slot. Good side chunk of time. Well, Opeth's new album Watershed comes out June 3rd, which is I guess a week from now.
Yeah.
And definitely check out Fredrik, everything he's done, and buy the new album. Anything else you want to say?
Hope you will enjoy the new record. See you.
All right.